How to be a single Christian girl.
Oh, wait, we were recording?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Haley Julia. I'm your big sister, and we are
Oh, I was saying she was creative because I thought it said Hallelujah.
Oh, yeah.
The single
But
Christian
it's just
girl
her name.
survival
No,
guide.
I think it's a pun.
Because we're
No,
single
it-
as Pringle,
I don't think it's her
especially if
name.
you're watching this.
But her
I'm
name is Haley
assuming you're
Julia.
single as Pringle.
Oh,
If you're not,
like-
I don't know, maybe
Not
you're just
Hallelujah.
using
Yeah.
background noise
Yeah.
while doing your makeup.
Have you
But
seen her
we're
on
gonna
TikTok
talk about
before?
being single
I've
before
never
we
heard
get
of this
into
lady in
the
my life.
Survival guide. I'm just gonna tell you a little bit about my singleness. So, I am 26 years old and I am single. And you know, it gets hard in these streets because left and right I'm seeing people on my For You page, on my Instagram page, every page ever, Facebook, whatever, all the socials, getting engaged, married, having kids. So, you know, it gets hard in these streets. It does get hard in these streets. But
Get out of the streets then.
I have
Come on, come on.
I have learned along the way how to survive singleness because I have been single for quite many years. In the name of Jesus, not for long because I'm preparing myself for a husband. Listen. Anyway, in the meantime,
You go, Haley.
we still single. So let's get into the survival guide. So the first thing on the survival guide is to fully trust in God's timing. And I know everybody says that, and it can be so cliche. Like, yes, wait in God's timing, God's timing, God's timing, God's timing. But really, God's timing is the best timing because God knows the desires of our hearts. He knows us. He knows the number of hairs that we have on our head. Even the Bible says He's known us and He formed us and He knew us before we were even in our mother's womb. So He knows us, and why settle for less than God's best? And we're actually, I had some.
Debrief time?
That was like the worst one. That's the one you hear everybody tell you.
Trust in God's timing.
Just wait.
Agree or disagree?
Oh, I fully agree. But it fully sucks too.
Okay. Explain this to me. How do you wait for God's timing? Not just in relationships. But I hear stuff like, wait for God's timing, but also, there's a little bit of work you gotta put into things. So how do you know when to pursue, when not to pursue? Because what if you're like a very pretty girl and you get attention from everyone? How do you know which one is God's timing type beat? You know what I'm saying?
Well, with the timing thing, I think it's important to get into a community and have a strong like if you're a girl, you have a strong women's group. If you're a guy, you have a strong men's group, and then like you have other groups that mix in between that, and then in that way, you're not lonely, but you're also not thirsty for a relationship.
True.
So it's a healthy balance of being around people that are the same sex as you and opposite as well.
So what does it look like when it is go time?
I think you'll know.
When it is go time for
I
relationships.
think you'll know when it's go time, and when it comes to like, say if you have a bunch of options at in front of you, it comes down to your list of what you have in a wife. Like, what do you want? What do you want to see? What traits and characteristics are most important to you? In that way, you can choose the best options.
I like it. One more piece of it.
Why am I doing all the talking right now?
I'm just playing pushback.
You're devil's advocate.
Yeah. Because what if also, like in the Bible, and it's talking about persistence and praying to God, and Jesus tells that parable where he's like the lady, if you like, you know, you pull up at the person's house at night and you're knocking on their door, and you keep on knocking, then it will cause the person to get out of bed and whatever and do all that stuff. What if you never pray and you never seek for a relationship? Because you're just like, God will bring it. You think God sees that and rewards your faith? Or does he want us to be actively praying every day? God give me a wife, God give me a wife, God give me a wife, kind of thing.
Oh, the first one or that's the end where I'm more on. It's like, this goes back to what I was saying in another episode about like the Calvinist versus Arminian, or like free will versus predestination, because like whenever I try to control things, whenever I try to force something, it never goes the way I want it to. But if I trust in God, if I like, the way I see it is like I have a wife in the future, and if I fully trust in God and I surrender my will to His, and I have a wife waiting for me in the future, if I'm fully devoted to God, what is going to stop? What is going to get in the way of me getting a wife?
Come on.
Like I can't even get into my own way if I'm surrendered to God. So that's kind of how I see it, and I don't have to worry. I don't have to pray every day, because sometimes praying every day, like if you're like going back to God with the same prayers every day, sometimes that shows a lack of trust. True. Or that shows like you know the answer, but you want God to change His mind anyway.
Yeah, but in a way, God is saying that persistence is a good thing, because He's like, keep praying, keep knocking, and the door will be open, kind of thing. So what if? But is it wrong to sit there? Because the door would never have been opened if the lady in the parable was just like, I'm just gonna sit here and not ask.
Mosquito. It's on your shirt now. But I think it comes. It depends on where you are at in life and what opportunities are presented to you. Like, if a girl like rejects you like over and over and over again, you probably shouldn't keep on knocking at her door. Maybe you should find another door to knock on.
Maybe you gotta do some self-seeking, brother. True.
But be persistent in the waiting. And while you are waiting, while you are in your singleness, develop yourself into the person you want your future spouse to marry and deserve. All right, we'll continue.
Come on.
Something else to say to that, but it's another point that I have in here, so I'm not going to say it now. But trust in God's timing, because His timing is always the best. And I was going to say something else. What was I going to say? Also, speaking of God's timing, another thing that I don't completely agree with, I could be wrong, but I don't completely agree with it for myself, is when people say like, oh, well, if you want to find your man, just like stop looking, just stop thinking about it, stop doing this. I don't fully agree with that to an extent. Now, I do believe there is a such thing as idolizing a relationship, idolizing a marriage, and that is not of God to idolize something. Now, if there's a healthy balance between you obviously not idolizing something and putting God first, but also having that desire in your heart, there's nothing wrong with that. I am not stopping myself from wanting a husband. I am not letting myself feel any less just because people are telling me, stop thinking about it and he'll come. Stop. Because I'm not going to train my brain to just stop thinking about it. I don't idolize it. Do not idolize it. Don't make this a priority over God, but have a healthy desire in your heart. I believe that you could have that, says the single girl. Single survival guide, guys. We're not going to be single in Jesus' name. I just pray right now, God, that you would bring these ladies husbands, or if you're a man, wives, in Jesus' name. The next thing on the survival guide is to let God heal your heart where it's been broken. And some of you guys...
What do you think she's going to say before she says it?
I don't know, but I hope she takes it really well, because that is a really powerful point. Nobody likes bringing trash into a relationship. Nobody likes building a marriage from wounds and from assumptions. So, I mean, practically, I'm pretty sure even atheists would agree to maybe not to let God heal your heart, but heal your heart kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, if you're going in with fears and insecurities, you're just going to make both of yourselves in the relationship miserable. So I really hope she takes it. And there is a biblical way of looking at it. Because a lot of people will be like, I just got to namaste or take a vacay somewhere. It's like, that'll help. But
maybe pray today.
God ultimately is way better satisfaction for our heart and healing for our lives than anything else in this world will be. Sometimes people will be like, I just need a husband to be healed. It's like, maybe God can use your husband to heal you in areas. But deep down, the only one who really can fill and bring water of living life to the fullest is Christ Jesus. And so, you know, if you want to be a good anything, a good human being, if you want to be a complete human being, and you know what? No, I'm just joking.
Have not had a broken heart yet when it comes to relationships, and honestly it doesn't even have to be about a relationship. I feel like we've all had our heart broken at some point in our life, even if it didn't have to do with a relationship. It could be something your friend did or your family did, but I feel like we've all had a broken heart, even from a loss, there's so many endless things. So just take time with the Lord to really heal your heart. And if you are going through a breakup right now, or you went through a breakup a little while ago and it's still lingering in your heart and you're still sad and heartbroken about it, just know it gets better. And this is coming from someone who went through a really bad breakup before. It gets better. Trust me, girl. Please trust me, and just know that the creator of the universe, the king of kings, the lord of lords, you are a daughter of God, and he is there for you.
I think we're being emasculated by watching this video, because we're losing subscribers.
Turn that frown upside down, because God is going to come through and he's going to heal your heart, and I promise you of that, because God always comes through on his promises. He doesn't break his promises. His promises are yes and amen, just like the Bible
Preach,
says.
Harley.
The Bible also says,
Haley.
the mender of the brokenhearted. So your heart will be commended just like Jesus intended. Ooh, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Just call me Dr. Seuss. Ooh, I need a goose. All right.
Should we watch a guy's
the
one?
next thing is, instead of
I like that one guy.
the timing of your husband,
I don't know his name, but
pray.
what did you just say?
Should we watch a guy's one after?
Oh, I thought you. Sure, I'm down. I like that one guy. I forget his name. But he's like it's called like Warrior for Christ. He's a cool guy. I don't know his name, but he talks a lot about like celibacy and stuff. Isaac and Josiah take on relationships.
Don't listen to us.
For your husband and for yourself. I know a lot of times, and I've been guilty of this too. God, just please, just bring my husband now, or bring my husband within the next few months. But like we're like rushing God's timing.
That goes back to number one. Do not rush God's timing.
This is going back, or I was telling my friend something about this. It was like, how crazy would it be if like I could tell my wife, like, I prayed for you, but I prayed for you. I'm gonna clarify because that sounds confusing. But like, I prayed for you, for myself, but I prayed for you even though I didn't see you, like in real time, even though I didn't know who you are or seen you. But I just prayed that like your life would go well.
Like protect him from the struggles and all that
Yeah.
stuff. That's good.
Like, have you ever made those prayers like, God, like, wherever she's at, like, I pray that she would not be lonely, that she would know that she's fulfilled, and that, you know, she would have all these qualities.
I pray she's making a bunch of money right now, so when I meet her, we can just have a big old house. No, I think like that a lot. I've heard that before too, especially as a younger guy. I don't know where I'm going with that, but yes, I pray that because it's a good, send them up. I mean, it would be really sad though if you get up to heaven without ever getting a wife, and you're just like, man, was I praying for nobody? But who knows? I don't know.
Paul and Jesus.
Some scholars believe Paul had a wife, and she left him because he went Jesus crazy.
Well, you might have had something before he went.
Yeah, when he was a Pharisee, and then he
Yeah.
kind of turned around. Some believe that he was married.
Probably.
Change your prayer around. Instead of just praying, God, like, please, I want a husband now. I have the desire now. I'm so lonely. I'm so this.
I
I'm
do
so
not
that.
want a
Like,
husband.
You're not the only one that's lonely, girl. We in this together. We in this together. I feel you. I really do feel you. But try to change your prayers around. So what I like to do is I like to pray for my husband, in a sense, like, hey, God, I just pray right now.
Bro.
Lead my husband closer to you. that you are building him up as the man of God that you have called him to be. I pray for his family. I pray for, low-key, I'd be praying for the parents too, because I'm trying to have good mother and father-in-laws. And also pray for yourself. I know as women, we have a lot of desires for this man, but I remember there was one point in my life where I was like, dang, I just want this full man of God who does X, Y, Z, but I'm not even that woman of God. How am I expecting to get this man?
Love the humility.
The woman
If only
that
more
this
people
man
were
deserves.
like.
You know what I mean? So
Dude,
definitely pray for yourself and work through the things.
You should marry
to
her.
Grow you
Funny
into that
six.
woman of God that your husband.
You
that
should
you're
reach
praying
out,
for deserves.
Josiah.
See what I'm saying? Moving on. To
Guys, if you think
do
Josiah
not
should get married to
settle-
this
First of
girl,
all, do not settle,
comment down
period.
below.
However, this piece of advice is
What are
don't
we doing?
settle because of people's unsolicited advice. So me being on social media and posting a lot of
What does that mean?
Unsolicited advice.
Don't settle because of people's unsolicited advice.
I think it's like don't conform to the patterns of the ways of the world. Almost. You know, if you're just like, man, guys, I'm looking for a husband, and they're like, you should date this guy. I know he's not that godly, but you know, maybe he can get better and all this stuff. And you're like, okay, you're right. And then you just go and you date, and then it just all goes downhill. Or maybe you're just like, you know, like, don't be too overly influenced by all the stuff that's going around, you know? Or maybe they are like, yeah, he's a super solid Christian, but he doesn't like this, this, and this, which are all the things you love. And so you're like, shoot, that's not going to work out.
Yeah.
But yet, you know, you start to get desperate, and all your friends are telling you and making you believe that, like, you're running out of options and
You're
all this
30.
stuff. So you just settle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's bad. But it's bad because you start to believe things without, like, and I like that it says unsolicited advice. Because there is good advice. There's wise advice. And you just got to know, be aware who you're talking to and whose advice you're taking.
Yep.
You know, everybody says, there's always something you can learn, I think. So I think of any kind of advice, whatever situation you're in. I'm not talking about relationships, but you always chew the meat, spit out the bones. I like to say that one. There's always something. Maybe it's not a lot of meat. Maybe it's all bones, and you're just like, okay, that's an opinion. Not my opinion, but that is a opinion. You know, you just take it in one ear and shoot out the other ear.
Yeah.
But you process it.
That's what I heard when I heard that. It's just don't take everyone's unsolicited advice in general.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when people don't know what they're talking about.
Like us. Don't you dare believe a thing me and Josiah are saying after watching this YouTube. No, I'm just joking.
Like,
But, okay.
some people I look at that give advice, like, I don't want my marriage to turn out like yours, or I don't want my life to be like yours. So why would I take your advice? And all the advice you've given me so far has made me sad.
Like, a word of advice: you're gonna be single for the rest of your life. How about that? No, I'm just joking. But yeah, that's definitely true. Because if you don't picture yourself acting like the person that is giving you that advice, then how important is their advice in your life?
All I gotta say is, like, if you want to be rich, do you listen to a broke person or do you listen to a rich person? If you want to get your car fixed, do you listen to a mechanic or do you listen to not a mechanic?
True. You hear that? You hear that?
about singleness, I get a lot of unsolicited advice. It's not even advice. Sometimes it's just like people bringing me down. Somebody literally commented, first of all, I'm 26 years old. My guy comments, any woman over 30 who doesn't have a husband yet isn't a woman of God. First of all, that's not even biblical. That makes zero sense. Second of all, I'm 26.
You tell him.
Anyway, hear me out here. If it's rational advice from a close family member or friend, that's like they really see something unhealthy in you and they're calling it out, that's different. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not saying shut everybody out, because if you got some toxic behavior and your friend and family member who you trust calls you out on that, listen to that. That's not what I mean by unsolicited advice. I mean
That's
stuff
solicited
like this. So for
advice.
example, this has happened to me actually a couple of times, but there's this one specific example that I can think of when someone really close to me, there was somebody who wanted to ask me out on a date. Actually, I went on 2 dates in 1 week.
Now
And
she's
that's
just
very
venting, bro.
unlike me.
1 week?
I don't
She's just
be going
venting
on
out
like
here.
dates back to back like that. But I went on 2 dates in 1 week, and I just felt from the Lord that I didn't need to go. I wasn't supposed to go. But my friends were kind of like, no, just go. Like, you never know. Go, go, go. How do you, like, this could be your husband. How do you know? You don't even know them, yada, 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 yada. And I'm like, oh, man, I just had the feeling in my heart, like, no, this isn't it. That they're not the one. Don't go. And I went anyway. They both ended up being interested in me. And that literally broke my heart because I'm not good at disappointing people and turning them down. Like, I first of all, I hate being rejected and I hate rejecting. So both of them are bad for me.
Gotta do what you gotta do, Harley.
I had to tell both of them, like, no, I'm sorry. Like, and they were great guys, but I just knew they weren't it. I didn't feel it in my heart. It felt off. They weren't for me. So I told them, like, no, and then I had like a mental breakdown over it, like, literally.
You told them both
mental breakdown.
no?
You could ask my dad in the middle of a White Castle. I was like,
yeah.
I didn't even want to go on it in the first place, and now my heart's broken, and I could have avoided this. Yes, I'm dramatic. And I'm not saying that this is the case for everybody. Sometimes it does work when people go out there just because you never know type thing. I'm not saying that this is a one-size-fits-all piece of advice with this specific situation, but for me, I would just say overall, listen to your discernment, and if you are putting God first in your life, you hear from him. So even if your friends are saying, go do this, go do this, go do this, what is God saying? So because I could have avoided all of that mental breakdown because I felt in my heart that I wasn't supposed to go, but I still listened. And anyway, there's so many other things that I could say about unsolicited advice. So many people want you to settle. I'm telling you right now, do not settle for less than God's best.
Don't settle.
The right one will come at the right time. How do I know that? Because I haven't found the right one. Because I got friends who have found the right one and they've waited. And some of them are older than me. So it happens. The next part of our survival guide is don't give in to your need for attention. Ladies, I know it can get lonely in the streets. It can get lonely out here. I know. I be lonely sometimes. Do not give in to that need for attention because things get messy and that's when you make bad decisions. You know what I'm saying? I know, girl.
Something that I've heard that really sticks out to me is that the only thing worse than being lonely in your singleness is being lonely in your marriage.
In your marriageness.
And not every problem in your singleness will be fixed automatically by getting married. That's why you have to work on yourself before you get into marriage. So if if the enemy is poking you, she's literally pointing.
She's literally staring directly at me. I don't like this. You cover that thing up. Cover that thing up, baby.
Girl, for example.
If the enemy is like using your own insecurities to push you into doing something you don't feel in your heart or in your spirit that God wants you to do, then you're gonna make bad decisions, and you don't want to make bad decisions off of bad feelings. You want to be sober-minded.
Come on. Yes. I feel like I would say something, but then I yawned and I just forgot all the stuff that I. No.
You know,
Don't build on sand.
So you're gonna entertain this man in your DMs, or you're gonna slide into people's DMs. I don't know. Always be going down in the DMs. Whenever you're feeling like, man, I need attention, pray, man. Just worship. I don't know. Even turn on a movie. Just do something to distract yourself. I think the best option is always turn to
pray.
But don't give in, because, like, for example, you're gonna slide in this guy's DMs, or he's gonna slide in your DMs. You're gonna entertain him. You're gonna lead him on. And then that's not going to be good because, like, then you're doing something wrong there. Like, you're leading a guy on who could potentially really like you, and just because you need attention, you're giving him that attention so you can get it in return.
Come on.
But you're leading this guy on, and the Bible also says you reap what you sow, girl.
Come on.
So don't be doing that.
Bruh.
And also, just don't get
He's
yourself
preaching.
in a situation where you just really crave this attention that you make bad decisions. Don't do it. You are a woman of God.
Oh,
Don't do it. Oh gosh, my camera's dying. All right, we have 2 more things left in the survival guide. The next one is, since you can't rush your relationship, enjoy your singleness to the fullest. Guys, just enjoy your singleness. There's so many things that you can do while you're single that you can't do when you're in a relationship. And instead of basking in the loneliness and the and feeling sorry for yourself, really enjoy what life has to offer. Like, God has given you so many amazing things in your life to go do. You just go do them. Go do them. Go enjoy life. Go meet new people. Go, I don't know, go travel. Even if it's not on an airplane, if you can't afford that, go down the road. Go outside. Touch some grass. Pick some flowers. Just
Read.
Just do things. You know.
Read a book. Thoughts?
Well, my thoughts is that she is absolutely right about you can do a lot more things in your singleness. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do in in not your
Care to explain this? Care to draw us a picture, brother? Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Don't forget to breathe, bro.
I can't breathe.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Well, besides that, like one example I was thinking of, like, once I graduate college, like, what if I get a job offering, like, in a different state, or what if, like, I get offered, like, a bunch of money to, like, go somewhere, or if I want to go on mission somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, I have a lot more freedom to do that than if I was in a relationship. Because I'm always scared, like, oh, if I in a relationship and then I do something where I have to move far away, like, that would be the hardest thing ever.
No, honestly, I think it's nice because, yeah, the thing about being single is you're not that being tied down is a bad thing, but you don't have obligations to be there for somebody in the way they do when you're in a relationship. And so you have that creative freedom to go on missions or go out and do things without having to, like, make sure you're checking in on people and caring for people, which both are good and both have benefits and stuff. But, if you're going to be married for the rest of your life, it is important to enjoy your singleness rather than, especially what she says, just dwelling in sadness and feeling bad for yourself for being single. It's like, bro, enjoy it. There's things you can do that you'll probably never be able to do again. And growing moments that can come in that, and lessons you can learn that you can only learn when you're single. And
yeah. Even with money too. Like, I've been really paranoid about money. Like, I can barely afford to buy a car, let alone take care of a whole other person. Especially if they want to stay at home or something. In Hawaii.
No bueno. Yes.
Let's keep on going.
What do we got next?
Maybe get a dog. Adopt a puppy. Adopt a cat. I don't like cats. I'm allergic to cats. Anyway, you know what I mean. Just do things. Enjoy your singleness and live your life to the fullest. Especially hanging out with friends. Like, friends have done so much in my life to help me, survive in this survival guide of loneliness because I'm single as a Pringle. Hanging out with friends has really helped me a lot, and just having community, especially God-centered community, has really helped me a lot. So I definitely recommend that. And last but not least, before my camera dies, we have one more tip in this survival guide, and that last tip is get out of your house. And it really goes hand in hand with the last one. Get out of your house. Because I can be so guilty of this, being like, oh man, like I'm so lonely, and not even just like in a I need a husband type way, just lonely in general, loneliness in general. But it's like, what am I doing? I'm working all day in my house. I'm not using my time right. So I'm stuck in my house 24/7. I don't have any human contact with people. I'm not texting people. I'm not calling people. I'm not FaceTiming people because I'm working because I'm a workaholic. I'm working on that. Oh gosh, no, it's even more working. But I've noticed I just need to get out of my house, because the second I'm out of my house, I'm like, oh wait, even if it's something so little. Today, I was like, you know what? I just need to get out of my house because, first of all, it is 12:26 a.m. right now, and I've been working since 9 a.m. because I do different things throughout the day, different jobs and stuff. But yeah, I was like, you know what? I gotta get out of the house. Because I was just like getting like so like, ooh, like I feel trapped in here. So I ordered DoorDash and I picked it up myself. I got out of the house and I was like, you know what? Wow, this is nice. I went to Guy Fieri's Chicken Guy, got me a nice little sandwich, and I got out of the house. But also get out places where you can meet people, because at the end of the day too, like, we have to do our part. God, of course, can bring someone to you, but you have to do your part as well. You know, it's kind of like when you want to achieve a dream, you know, like God gives you that desire. He could help you get there, but you have to put in the work too. So go outside, do something. Go meet people, be social, okay? And God will bring your significant other all in his perfect timing. And
I think we do that pretty well. We go out every week.
Indeed. And I'm not even looking for somebody. I just like to have a good time. Just like to enjoy my company and friends.
I could go out more though. If I
Salsa
had time.
class?
Oh, I was actually gonna bring that up. That's like one of the things that I enjoy that I don't think I could do regularly in a relationship is I joined a salsa class my first semester of university, and it is like super fun. And I've been thinking about going back in the summer because it was really fun, and I just didn't have the time this year to do anything.
And he said all the girls were pretty.
There was a few, but it wasn't like anything. But it was super cool getting to dance. You actually get to dance with all the girls,
Dude.
because you rotate,
Come on.
and then it's like, oh, one day I'm gonna use this.
Speed dating. Interesting. Yeah, show off your salsa moves. Go out in a crowd.
It's honestly
Get it on.
like the riz is kind of there.
Dude. You know what? If I get married, Josiah, I'm going to play salsa music just for you.
No, please do.
Just for you
no,
on the dance floor.
No, I've been waiting at like our last two weddings we went to, like, no slow dancing.
None of that. Dun, 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 dun.
They're just not ready.
They're not ready. Maybe you're not ready. Maybe
Yeah, because
You gotta wait
I haven't
on
been
God's
I haven't
timing.
been to class in a while.
maybe